Hello, my feathered friends. It's another glorious morning. We're live, we're here. Oh, okay. I've already set the intentions to bring out some clear, concise messages just to get a feel for the energy and what you're going through. And I went ahead and pulled one from the huge deck of the Alchemical Visions Tarot. And what came out is the King of Cups. Now, this is a very, very beautiful and interesting card, and I do apologize if there's a glare. So, have you seen Solo Leveling? And if you haven't, you really should. I don't care if you like anime or not. I don't think I've ever watched a show so much in my life that's given me like encouragement, upliftment, wanting to actually go at something by myself. Realizing that being single is actually your superpower, or at this point in your journey, going after things is, oh gosh, I really don't want to restart this video, Spirit. You have accumulated shadows. Okay, I'm just gonna summarize it for you. I really would rather not because it's such a great show. Long story short, nobody can do what he can do. It's unheard of. It's an enigma. He has a reawakening. He reawakens. And by doing so, activates dormant abilities within himself. Yeah, you picking up what I'm putting down? And it's beautiful because how this card is described is exactly that. Do you see this figure? This is the king. Has the orb, has the scepter, complete balance with divine masculine and feminine energies. Now up here, we have the wise. See that wise old guy? That is actually, it can be interpreted in two different ways. Either their father or, which I like, the shadow. And the two seashells that are spiraling around is the journey. You know, we start at the very beginning, in the middle, and things get bigger. The patterns get more more intricate. Like you can actually see more of the texture, more of the design as it spirals out. And we have the seahorses, which for me represent the hippocampus. So you could have a really, really strong hippocampus. You could have done exercises to build. Sometimes we do it even unknowingly. Maybe we started doing something for one reason, and later on we find out that we were led to that information for why we wanted to do it. But it was actually for another reason, because spirit needed us to do that to strengthen some part of our nervous system, our brains, our vessels, our bodies, so that we can actually hold and withstand the downloads and the upgrades that are coming in. A perfect example, my mother and father had developed epilepsy, come to find out because they weren't able to break their habits and overcome their limiting beliefs. Their vessels were not able to hold the downloads and upgrades that were coming into the planet at that time. Also, what this is saying is that you have accumulated, like, the energies that you have come up. Oh, sorry. The seahorses are there to actually rescue you if you get lost in the unconscious, in the ocean of emotion. Ocean of emotion. Because there's a lot of other people that are drowning and they're thinking that these feelings, these emotions are theirs. But do you see how he's just sitting pretty up there? Now, if on his journey, the king gets lost or starts, there's a lot of temptation. There's a lot of things that pull on our heartstrings. That's why having the heart mind coherence, the divine feminine masculine and balance is so important. But what I'm seeing here is that you have come up on your path. You have come up against a lot of individuals who were housing some major demons, major big demons, and they could have actually vilified you because to them they were like, oh, I only get this way around them, and thinking like you're putting demons on them. The thing is your light is so strong it irritates their demons, and that's the whole point. You hold light to trigger other individuals, and how they deal with it is on them. Now, for a long time, we take it personally, but whoever I'm talking to, you have mastered this, and you actually have things in place to help pull you out. So if you are going, if God is sending you on a mission, I don't know if you jumped in the car and you're being led somewhere, if your ancestors are asking you to close out certain cycles and become aware of certain things, you need to know that you are fully supported. You have a lot of things in play in the background. Look, he's just sitting there. He has almost no idea how much is actually going on behind the throne, because it is so important for him to be focused on what's in front of him, what's in the present moment, not what's behind him. Because the thing is what's behind him, he's already healed. He, she, it doesn't matter. This is not gender. I'm just saying it because it's a King of Cups. But very emotionally intelligent. And as these waters of chaos, of emotion, are hitting other people, you're able to stay above it. And even if you were to dip your toe into, having intelligence and desire and passion, everything just has to be in balance. And if we feel like something is a weakness of ours, if you lose yourself in relationships, know that about yourself. Know when it's time to back off. Know when it's time to give some room and reevaluate where you are and center yourself. I really like this. I really, really like this. So back to the solo leveling, you have overcome and slayed so many demons, so many dragons and other people that now they serve you. They serve you. And I mean that in the most, they want to. They want to. They're so filled with love and joy. And there's like, I know, by slaying these demons, if you've seen Demon Slayer at the end, he was so compassionate, and like, they didn't get this. They weren't always like this. Something happened. And usually it's because of love. The first will be last and the last will be first. And that can go with so many different things. It applies to so many different situations and information, but it's love. People, they might love their family, so they steal, and it's about having compassion and realizing that they didn't start that way. Something happened to them. And in the end, after slaying them, they were able to be released. They were able to feel compassion and love and understanding from another person who was actually their opposing rival, basically. So it's almost like in the midst of slaying these demons, in the midst of decapitating these dragons, you're healing people's souls in ways that they never thought possible. Maybe you never thought possible. And they're able to shed a tear, which actually helps the alchemical process of healing. Crying is an alchemical process. Okay, we're going to move on. There's a lot just from one card, and it's 841. But I really love the breakdown of this card and where you're at right now, because this is the overall arching theme. This is saying that you have the army behind you. You have your crown. You are in balance. And it's like, maybe you're going on a mission. Maybe you're being asked to go, maybe you've been cultivating your light and working on yourself, and Spirit's like, okay, we dip our toes in, we come back out. We dip our toes in, we come back out. And it keeps a very level head. All right. So with that said, we will do the Mythos Tarot Inner Worlds, just to see where you are at, and or what you're stepping into, and what the energy you will be dealing with. Okay. As long as I can remember that that's what I'm doing. My hippocampus probably needs to be exercised a little bit more. Let's get some tarot though. I want to see what the situation is that has to do with this. Oh, we're already starting with deep feelings. Deep cups. Holy crap. Ay, ay, ay. So an ego thing is going to be big here. Because when we are in this energy, you know, just being aware of your ego, you don't need to prove anything. You don't need to be anybody but yourself, and allow others. It's like being a really good listener to the deep emotions, to the deep ocean that others have going on, because you've already conquered this. You're a master. Yeah, and it's just about being aware of when your ego is trying to be inflated, or when other people are fawning or inflating your ego. Observe it. Don't get carried away. Okay? Okay. Interesting. Interesting. Okay, so I'm already getting that this is a situation that is not you. This is telling you about the situation that you are going into. That's why the King of Cups. That's okay. I love that. Thank you. Thank you, Spirit. This is actually amazing for whoever is listening to this, because you have a lot of power. Holy crap. You have power to close out cycles I don't even think you understand yet. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Okay. Okay, here we go. Somebody is really deeply in their feelings. 5 of Cups. There's the 5 of Cups and the 3 of Swords, right? Like heartbroken, emotional. 3 of Swords is more mentally, is more in the mind, overthinking of regrets and what you did wrong, and beating yourself, breaking your own heart, you know, sometimes. And other times the 3 of Swords can talk about actually healing that and overcoming it. But you have somebody that's either you're about to meet or that you've already met and that you're dealing with. I don't think they can speak their truth. I think they have a very difficult time expressing their emotions and their vulnerability. And it's like you see it. You can plainly see it on their face and the way that they speak and the way that they move. But if they aren't open to opening up, there's nothing that you can even do. You see this? You're on top of the water, and they're like sinking and just laying in the water. They are in their feelings big time. The challenge is the devil, their ego, their pride, the chains that they've built that they let shackle them. And they were betrayed. They had a lot of burdens that they maybe recently have walked away from, or that were taken, that were placed on them. Because we have the 10 of Wands here in the recent past. A lot of hard work, a lot of just taking on other people's burdens, I feel. Their conscious mind is a very lack mindset. 5 of Pentacles, 5 of Coins. This person, I'm getting victim mindset big time here. It's everybody else's fault. It's not my fault. But if this person didn't do this, or if this job didn't do this, or if this government didn't do this, and I get it, I really do. But this person has the Queen of Swords in their unconscious. So there's a lot of boundaries, but there's also magic and mysticism. So maybe this person has a dormant ability. Hold on. I want to see, have they abused this dormant ability with Cersei? I mean, Cersei, if you watch the Game of Thrones, she definitely abused her power. 2 of Swords, Nemesis. Yeah, I feel like this person, their nemesis, they are their own worst enemy. Whoever you're dealing with, whoever first comes to your mind, that's who it is. Five of Swords at the bottom. Guys, we have 5, 5, 5, 5. Oh my God, I didn't even realize that. Hold on, let me show you. Okay. Do you see the 5? Oops, glare. The 5. And then over here in the near future, 5. And then at the bottom of the deck, we have the 5 of Swords. So all the 5s are showing themselves. So I'm not... Their advice is they need to accept some kind of offer of love. And I feel like this is you, Morpheus. So dreams could be significant, or maybe they're getting messages and offers in their dreams. I'm getting this person does something, some kind of substance that blocks out their dreams, probably marijuana. Nothing wrong with marijuana. I love it myself. But if it's all the time, every day, and we can't live without it, that's an addiction. Okay? If we can give it up for 3 or 4 days with no problem, it's not an addiction. And you can do it when you yeah, because it's not a chain. You have power over yourself. It doesn't have power over you. So in the near future, we have conflict. What's this conflict? I feel like this person is just very competitive with themselves and with other people. And they've literally created something themselves. Okay, the Sun and the 7 of Swords. Some kind of deception is being illuminated, which is causing some kind of conflict. Helios. Major conflict, major competition. This person has their swords up and a fire blazing, so they're like a hot air balloon. And wow, King of Cups at the bottom of the deck. But again, here you are sitting pretty, like you see this. And it's about just making sure you're aware of your energy, that barrier, and knowing that you have things in place. You're fully protected. Fully protected. So that shouldn't even be a thought. Like, you are protected. There's no worries. But oversharing, trying to fix them, is not going to help the situation. I feel like being presence and just above the emotion. Well, we're going to find out. We're going to find out. What's the advice? 3 of Swords is the advice. Guys, this is so crazy because 3 of Swords has been coming out in other people's readings, my readings, as the advice, as the opportunity. Very weird placements for the 3 of Swords. But here's the thing. If we don't feel this, if we don't talk about this, this is Swords energy, mental, actually going through what happened. And without the blame, just what happened. What are the facts? What could we have done to what could have been done on their part to make the situation move a little easier? Because the thing is, if we don't find the lesson, it's going to keep bugging us. It's going to keep draining our energy, causing lack, causing deep emotions, competition, like we have to prove something, and there is nothing to prove. Maybe this is a situation you're just supposed to be aware of and observe so that you know how, I don't know. Let me shut up. Let me shut up. Because your advice is the 3 of Swords. Maybe you are supposed to deliver. Oh. Maybe your love, because the Knight of Cups with the 3 of Swords is the advice. Like, your love going, like, the message and your communication skills of love causes this person a lot of heartache and pain. And I think it's because they don't want to look at the truth of who they are. What is this Judgment? Yeah, in their environment, they could be getting called, or they refuse the call and it's still coming in because they need to upgrade. Like I was saying with my parents, my whole life experiences have proven to me that my awakening that happened a couple years ago, it validated everything I experienced. If I hadn't had the troubled life that I went through, I wouldn't have been able to reach the truth that Spirit needed me to reach. So everything literally happens for a reason. Even the most gut-wrenching, heart-wrenching experiences we have had in our life, whether you're homeless, whether your family was taken from you, whether you were left alone and abandoned, those all have treasures in them to show you how powerful you are. And this person has been avoiding it and spiritually bypassing it in some way. What's this judgment with Athena for their environment? Hypnose. So somebody might need to actually do some self-hypnosis to alchemize, because we have Artemis, Sagittarius energy, Temperance at the bottom of the deck here with the Four of Swords. They need to rest. They need to rejuvenate. They need to introspect themselves. Because with the advice with the Three of Swords and then the environment, their environment is giving them the opportunity to rest and rejuvenate. But they're not taking it. Also, not very much red in any of these cards. But for the environment, and with Judgment, I'm getting the I am. I'm getting Mother Gaia, the root chakra. That's the I am, as above, so below. The ether, the void, Divine Father's in between, but Divine Mother, it's like a sandwich. Because we have Gaia. And that's funny because warnings and affirmations is Gaia, closing out a cycle. I feel like that's what you're doing. You're closing out cycles. You're just your conscious awareness of a situation and where somebody's at. Spirit logs into your consciousness. Well, I mean, your consciousness is spirit, but it's like they take what you think as law, as law. So be mindful of your thoughts when you are in this situation, because the compassion and mercy is really needed. Okay. And if you're able to give this person compassion and mercy, so is spirit, because you're a conduit. You are the conduit. You are an ambassador for spirit. That's what this card talks about, because of everything that you have overcome, because of this shell. Like, you have spiraled out. Other people, they're still stuck there in the middle. Okay. I just heard you actually closed out a complete cycle shell and went on and started a whole nother one. So you have a double, triple mission. Caduceus, so Acephalus, healing, Two of Wands. It also talks about strategy and just where you're going to direct your willpower to close out this cycle. So it's your choice. It's this person's choice. Do they want equal give and take here with the Six of Coins? Okay, for the outcome, we have the High Priestess, and so we have Persephone and Prometheus. The Liver could be significant. The Hangman. There's some kind of either unknown sacrifice is what's coming to my mind. I'm telling you what, that had the ring circle. There's something about a red circle. Ring of fire, maybe. There's an unknown sacrifice that somebody's going to have to make. And I'm also getting that there's a new perspective, but Spirit's not going to show it until they deal with this. Give me something else with this. I want one more. The Fool, of starting a new beginning, of taking some kind of leap of faith. So somebody's going to realize that they're going to gain some kind of new perspective, maybe through you, maybe even just from your presence. Yeah, because you have like childlike wonder. You see magical in the mundane, in the ordinary. And it's like this person doesn't, everybody has greatness, and it's like they don't see their greatness. What is that from Fruit Baskets? The plum on your back. I can see your plum, but other people can't see their own plums because it's on their back. It's a funny analogy, but there it is. Okay, 5 of Wands in the near future. Ooh, Hermit. this, we could be talking about a Virgo, but this is somebody, is conflicting energies within themselves. This is just a confirmation because the Hermit is all about going within. It's Hermes. We also have Mercury retrograde. This is timeless, but Mercury retrograde is, it's about not communicating, overly communicating. So this person could have already reached out to you, or they're going to. What's this devil? What's this devil in the challenge position? 9 of Wands. They feel like they have to do everything themselves. They think that it's just a fight. Everything's a fight. You got to fight to live. You got to fight for this. You got to fight for love. You got to fight, 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 fight. This person might actually talk about fighting all the time. And I know that this is wounded warrior energy, and they definitely need to address their wounds that is causing this ego to, it's just the protector energy within us, you know, like, let me protect you. You've went through so much, but it's not helping. It's making things worse. A lot of swords. This person, Jesus Christ, they're really deceiving themselves, and it's about to be exposed, and it's going to rock their inner world. They're going to realize they've been competing with themselves. They need to feel the feels. They need to cry it out. Okay? I don't know who you're dealing with. What is this betrayal? Or this over... So in the recent past with the burdens, just a lot of heavy work, we have the 8 of Cups. So it's been really hard for somebody to walk away from something. Really difficult. Like, I don't even think they have. No, they have not. 9 of Swords coming out? Absolutely not. They're trying. They're really trying. The Moon. But these could be hidden enemies of yours. And I feel like maybe you're getting signs and synchronicities, and that's why you're just being asked to observe and pay attention to the energies that are trying to come into your energy. Oh my God. Yeah, something's backwards. Something's being flipped. Something. This person has a lot of fear. A lot of fear. Protect your energy. Keep your spiritual hygiene up. 5 of Coins. 3 of Cups. Ooh, it's a group. The Graces, 3 of Cups. This is a group that consciously knows. They know. This is in the conscious mind. They know it. They know it. Or this person that you're dealing with, they're now realizing what they signed and they married into, they signed up for, I don't know. 9 of Cups. Yeah, they thought something was a wish fulfillment, but it's not. What is this 5 of Cups? King of Wands. Chronos. Time. So maybe somebody feels like they don't have enough time. That's an illusion. That's why people end up, you know, not even trying or getting up and doing anything. Like, oh, I should have done this, blah, blah, blah. Why not do it right now? Do it right now. That's something you felt like you needed to do. Somebody feels like they lost a lot of time. Maybe somebody feels like they lost a King of Wands. I'm getting title. I feel like somebody lost their title. They used their fire way too, greed, money. That's that lack mindset. Not realize, they're not in touch with their emotions. They're a King of Cups in reverse. They didn't plant good seeds. 7 of Coins. The Star in reverse. So all of the 7 of Coins, the Star, all of this is in reverse. The Lovers, they didn't take their path. They did not choose the right path. Okay, so that's why the time was coming up. They're realizing that there was a point in their life where their intuition, where their inner voice was like, hey, we need to go this way, and they didn't listen. We've all been there. We've all been there, but that's the cue. That had to happen so that we could realize that, oh, wow, my gut, myself, parts of me was telling me what to do. I have plenty of examples of times where I went against my intuition and then paid a very, very hefty price for that. But when I look at those situations, that's what gives me strength and confidence and empowerment to remember that I have all the answers inside of me. I just need to be in tune with my own body and my own vessel and what it's offering and what it's signaling and what it's telling me. So there's Kronos. Okay, so yeah, we'll end with that. We're going to do the inner world. So we're going to get a card to see what you're stepping into, and also a card for what external energies will be showing up. Because I feel like now it's just time for you to do what God's work, you know, the universe's work, what you were sent here to do, because you've worked so much on yourself. Now it's time to examine and be consciously aware and start uploading. It's like, man, I can see it all in my mind, what you do just by being present, just by going into situations, holding your light and going into the dark. And rising above these emotions and situations. Kindred journey. Companionship, shared path, mutual support, harmony, shared experience, connection, inner aspects, unity. No soul walks entirely alone. Look beside you. Strength and solace travel with you on this path. What did I tell you? Strength and solace. You're traveling with a lot of strength, a lot of solace. Now, when I was reading this, again, I'm trying not to interrupt myself. 3113. One, you have a lot of support with you. You are never alone. Whoever I'm talking to, you are not alone. You have really touched. There's a lot of aspects of yourself, like interdimensional beings, the consciousness that's all around you in all things. Like, you have a lot of respect. You show a lot of respect for creation in general. But another thing is that this was actually a kindred spirit that might have supposed to have been on your path, or they took a similar path and you guys were supposed to come together, but they are not there yet. They still have a lot of stuff to deal with. And spirit could be putting you around this person to show that this could have been you. So technically all the crappy stuff that we want to label bad, which again, once you see through the eyes of spirit, you realize, whoa, you were blessed. Those traumatic events were blessings. And this person has not come to that realization yet. Oh, thank you, coffee. I love you. Okay. But again, every person we come into contact with, this person has something for you. They have a piece of the puzzle that you need to continue forward. And that's why you're being reminded that you have the support. So no matter where you go into, as long as you're not overgiving and trying to fix or be superior or be the savior, then you're going to be fine. Just check the ego. Because this person's ego is really, really big. So you could be picking up on that. Or like, do the 6 foot thing. Be like, hey, I still believe in COVID, so I need 6 feet from you. Holding space, self-possession, conscious presence, stability, centeredness, boundaries, focus, navigating unknowns, maintaining energy. What did I just say? You need boundaries with this person. Inhabiting your space fully is an act of quiet power. Be present, be centered. Your presence holds its own ground. I've been saying this whole time. You just need to be present and hold the light for this person. And by holding the space and realizing that, 1, this was you at one point, or 2, this could have been you if you hadn't taken that choice, if you hadn't taken that path, and just holding space and realizing this easily could have been you. This person is in a self-imposed prison. And you could really relate to this because you had been at this stage at one point in time. But just holding space for this person, I think, is going to be the main theme for this. Just being aware that this person has got a lot going on. So if you're expecting any kind of attention or special treatment from this person, throw those expectations out the freaking door and just live in the moment. Okay? Because this person their whole identity is shifting. They could be a Gemini or a Virgo is what I'm getting. Okay. Inner collage, the private universe, inner depths, vastness, inner complexity, diverse aspects, layered self. This person has a lot of layers. That's what I was getting. Because like the Russian doll, and you keep taking it out and out and out. This person has been repressing and just stacking things on top of each other and then taking everything personally. So you could have read the 4 agreements at one point, which you realize that you can't take anything personally, because if you do take something personally, you're avoiding things that need to be healed, and you're putting it onto other people. And there are some powerful individuals that don't know about their aura and how they actually affect other people. Angelic realms, a team effort, charity, validation, patience. So when they talk about the dark side, if you've seen Star Wars, all of it's all real. It's the subconscious of the universal one telling us stories about ourselves. So there are star seeds, there are light beings that go to the dark side. Okay? But they can only go so far. Now, when you're on the team of light, you get to a point, as long as you overcome that, you surpass. But then the only choice that they have is to change their ways, make up for it, and then, I'm not doing that. I'm not saying that, because then that's going to make other people feel a certain way. I know, I get that. People have to deal with their own emotions. But telling somebody that, oh, this lifetime, if you chose the dark, then it's going to take you a whole other lifetime. And that might be true. That probably is true, Spirit. But we can still change our ways now, realizing, wow, I didn't realize what I was doing. They know not what they do, right? And it's so true. It's the ignorance that's hurting people. It's the suffering and not understanding that, oh, hey, these are all life lessons. You have information and life lessons for me, so I can continue on my journey and on my path, and so do you. I'm going to hold lightly. I'm going to let go. Congratulations, and I love you, and I wish you the best on your journey. But it's time for us to disconnect and for you to go on your own way. Okay? So, language of light. Rediscovery, humble wanderer communication. You are relearning your communication and how to be a humble wanderer, and realizing that not many people are on your level. That is the sad truth. Not many people can handle your energy. That's why you can only be around people for a short period of time, because your light and how amazing you are literally bothers the crap out of them, because they have a lot of work to do. So knowing when to walk away and let people deal with what they need to deal with, because you needed it at one point, and it probably took a long time. So yeah. Okay, patience is going to be really important. Your affirmation is, I surrender my fear and open my heart to gratitude. And this person needs to do the same things. Wolves could be really significant. The angelic realms. You are an angel. You are an incarnated angel sent here to help others. So remember your light, because here in the near future, I see you, the sun, exposing the 7 of Swords and 5 of Wands. Like, hey, this is not serving anybody. You're hurting the people around you, your opinions, your energy. If you don't change this, you will continue to go through the same cycle. Okay. The keepers of the angelic realm are the angelic hierarchy. They are conduits for healing energy, and that's what you are. You are the conduit for the higher energies. Speaking to you continuously, they are protectors and healers who can help you in any area of your life. Assisting in this collaboration, Archangel Metatron radiates in gold light and holds the sacred geometric cube that connects all living creatures and energies to the divine. Taking personal responsibility will ensure a cohesive angelic relationship. Working with the loving angelic realm is Paul, the Venusian, Venetian from the third ray. The union between the physical and divine is created by surrendering with gratitude and an open heart. Connect to the artist within you to express your divine light. Being a conscious creator, you have the power to liberate your soul so you can ascend your spirit. Charitable action should be expressed with compassion instead of sympathy. Only then can you receive and surround others with the beautiful light and love that is open to all in its purest element. Loving ascension, Master Paul the Venetian is signaling your attention to ask you to be more compassionate in your life with your friends, family, colleagues, understanding that you are all on a separate journey. Light flashes, feathers, and unusual animal interactions have messages for you from the angelic realm. You have angelic support. The time is now. Express your heart with full freedom. Chase your heart. Celestite is your sacred crystal. I feel like that card just reiterated everything I already said. That yes, you could be about to encounter some choppy emotional waters with an individual or a situation, or a lot of us have been preparing for this time when the collective will be going through these emotions and these feelings, and knowing our protection and our power that we can call them in at any time. You have so many protectors. All of these cards are talking about how your shadow, go look up Solo Leveling. He's got an army in his shadow. He has beaten and slayed so many monsters and demons, and he's a necromancer. You could resonate with that, or have had a lot of death around you throughout your life, or just experience a lot of endings. It's the same thing. You are so totally protected, but not letting other people's ego get mixed with yours, being more of the observer. And again, you are very angelic. You are the conduit. So just your presence, 4114, just your presence holds power, okay? It doesn't have to be loud. Like, to be honest, I wish that I could give these readings without speaking. And I know we'll get there at one point with telepathy. Me and my son have been practicing, and like, it's so crazy. It's really cool though, because like, so be aware of your thoughts and where they're coming from. Maybe even test it out with your kids if you have any, or a friend, and see if you guys can throw each other energy and be like, hey, did you pick this up today? Did you pick up the square with the circle and the arrow and it looked like a bullseye? Because I sent that to you. Me and my son have been noticing that we're telepathically communicating, and because I'll get something ready, or he'll want something and I'll be getting it ready, and he'll come in and be like, I was just thinking about that. I was like, that's because you're sending me messages. I love you. The universe loves you, and everything's working out for our best and our highest good, guys. Until next time, peace.